is Megan from Goat Tutors, and today I'm going to be showing you how to solve quadratics by completing the square. So our basic steps. We are going to start with our ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 or some other number. And we are going to want to get that into a perfect square format. So that's going to be a plus some constant k squared equals d, some other constant. So in order to do that, a is going to need to equal 1. So we're going to start by dividing both sides by a if it does not already equal 1. Next, we're going to move that constant c to the right side of the equation. And we are going to take b halves squared and add that value to both sides. That way, we can go on and make it into a perfect square. Then we're going to take the square roots of both sides and move the b halves value to the other side. I know this all sounds really complex when you don't have examples, so how about we move into examples next?
All right, so moving on to our first example here. First step is that a needs to be 1. So if we look here, there's nothing in front of the x, so we know that it's an implied one. So if it were anything other than 1, we would divide it off. But even if we try to divide this, we're going to divide both sides by 1, and it's going to be the same exact thing. So now the second step is to move the constant, which is the c value here, over to the other side. So we take plus 5 on both sides. And we're going to get x squared plus 4x is equal to 5. Now our next step is to take b halves squared. Our b value here we can see is 4. So we're going to have 4 over 2 squared, which is going to equal 2 squared, which is 4. And we are going to add this to both sides. So plus 4 plus 4. Now we have x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 9. Now, in order to get this into a perfect square trinomial, well, it already is a perfect square trinomial, but in order to get it into that a plus k squared format that I was discussing before, we are going to do x plus b halves squared. So in this case, b over 2 is 2, so it's 4 divided by 2. And we are going to have x plus 2 squared equals 9. Right? So now, in order to solve for x, we have to take the square root of both sides of this equation. So we're going to have x plus 2 is plus or minus 3. And then when we subtract 2 off to the other side, so minus 2, we have x is equal to negative 2 plus or minus 3. So we are going to split that off into negative 2 plus 3, which is going to equal 1, and negative 2 minus 3, which is going to equal negative 5. And those are your two solutions for this equation. So we have 1 and we have negative 5. All right, now we are going to tackle this last equation here. So the first thing we've got to notice is that this a value is 2. So that means that we have to divide each term by 2 to get rid of it. So we're going to have x squared plus 9 halves x plus 5 halves is equal to 8. So next step is we've got to subtract that c value off. So minus 5 halves on both sides. We're going to have x squared plus 9 halves x is equal now to 11 halves. All right, so now we have to add our 9 halves squared, 9 halves divided by 2 squared. So we're going to have 9/4 squared, and that is going to give you an 81 over 16. And we are going to add this to both sides. So add 81 over 16 plus 81 over 16, both sides. So on this side, we have x squared plus 9 halves plus 81 over 16. and that is going to equal, so we need that 11 halves to have a denominator of 16, so we're going to multiply by 8 over 8, which will give us 88 over 16. So on this side, we have 88 over 16 plus that 81 over 16. So write 88 plus 81 will give you 169. So 169 over 16. Now what we're going to do is, oh, I forgot to write that x in there. All right, so we're going to take, again, that 9 halves over 2, which we solved before as 9/4, and we are going to rewrite this left side of the equation. So we have all of this, and this is still equal to 169 over 16. When we take the square root of both sides, we're going to have x plus 9/4 is equal to plus or minus, and this is going to give you a 13 over 4. So now when we subtract that 9/4 from both sides, so minus 9/4 minus 9/4, we have x is equal to negative 9/4 plus or minus 13/4. So when we split that off, we have negative 9/4 plus 13 over 4, and we have negative 9/4 minus 13 over 4. So for this first equation, 13 minus 9, 4 over 4, and this equals 1. So that is our first solution. Now on the bottom, we have negative 9 minus 13. So that is going to give us a negative 22 over 4. And we can simplify that down a little bit to get a negative 11 over 2. And those two are going to be both of our solutions to this problem. So we have a 1 and a negative 11 halves. Any questions, you can leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.